Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different and I'm kind of excited about it. Today I wanted to share 5 tips that I've learned as an artist along the way that have really helped me to improve my artwork over the last couple of years. These tips are definitely applicable to any medium really, not just digital painting, and I really wanted to share them with you because no matter what level you're at or where you're starting, they might help you out as well. So the very first tip I have, and this goes for no matter what level of artistry you're at, work in layers. This is going to save you a lot of heartache and a lot of mistakes. You'll learn this really fast when you go back and go to fix something that you messed up and you can't now because it's part of the layer you're working on. Something really helpful I do to really help avoid that problem is to, if I like the way something's looking, I'll just merge it all down and then make a copy of it and then undo the merge so all of my layers are back, and then I'll hit paste. And that way you're working on the copy rather than the original. That has saved me so much time. There have been a couple times that I've been working on something and then I actually ended up liking the way it looked before. And then when you hit paste again, you've still got, the copy to work back from, and you've still got your original and nothing's been ruined. Working in layers really helps to blend smooth things. Oh my gosh, that was funny. Blend smooth things like portraiture, flowers, landscapes, water, anything that really needs like a really nice blend, because it's so much easier to work on top and make things darker or lighter and then being able to take it away or change the opacity than to try to work on the layer that everything else is on, because it's much harder to change. And this is something that's really specific to Procreate in general, because I don't know about you guys, but I know Procreate, when you tap the 2 fingers, you can undo things. But for me, Procreate every once in a while has been known to suddenly force quit. And when it does that, you won't be able to go back and fix it. So if you make a copy of it and work in layers, you'll never have to worry about things corrupting or being unable to fix and change it again. So definitely working in layers will be your best friend. So the second tip I have, and this one is so important and it's going to blow your mind if you're not already doing it, and that is to flip your canvas. When you start working on a piece for so long, sometimes you start to become blind to the way it looks, and flipping the canvas in the opposite direction, whether that's vertically, horizontally, and getting a new perspective on it will definitely give you a lot of insight on details that might be a little wonky, or areas that are too dark or too light that need some work. It really helps to show areas that are unbalanced. It really most definitely helps for any of you guys doing portraiture work, whether that be cartoons or actual like paintings, because sometimes you'll be looking at, the reference face and then your work, and you kind of become blind to everything else. And when you flip the canvas, you'll definitely see mistakes or little areas that may need improvement. And with landscape painting, it'll definitely show areas that are too dark or too light and need to be refocused. So a good rule of thumb is if the piece still looks great in reverse, then you're good to go. So my third tip is about perspective. And perspective is definitely one of the most important elements of any painting you do, whether that be landscape, florals, portraits, abstracts. Procreate actually has a ton of really helpful grids and perspective tools to help you with landscape paintings. Mandalas. I'm saying a lot today. That is, it's just a giant You're going to want to make sure that when you're far away, things are softer and smaller. And when things are close up, they're bigger and have a little bit more detail. I see a lot of newer artists putting as much detail in the background as there is in the foreground. But the most important details are the ones closest to the viewer. Some things that watching perspective have really helped me with, particularly in landscapes, is watching where the vanishing point is. And the vanishing point is the point where 2 parallel lines kind of disappear. And for example, like if you're painting a pathway that's got trees or lamps on it, they all kind of have to follow the same line down to the center of the painting or off to the side, because it will look very odd, or like things will be floating if you don't. So the fourth tip I have for you today that's super important to any painting is choosing a limited color palette. picking a theme of colors for your painting, for example, between like 5 or 10 different shades, and then using different variations of them throughout the piece, differences in lightness, color, tone, darkness, and then using them throughout the painting is going to be really crucial to creating cohesiveness and making sure that everything blends well together. For example, a lot of times with like highlights on trees and bushes, I'll actually take the color of the sky and then use that as the highlight color and then just build it up. That way everything looks like it belongs together. I think it might be helpful too to do a color theory video. Let me know in the comments if you guys might like that. So the fifth and final tip I have for you today, and this is going to be particularly important when it comes to very vibrant colors with digital painting. I tend to find this across the board for most digital painting programs. They tend not to blend really vibrant colors very well together, and I found it's best to start with more muted tones and then end up changing the saturation at the end. So that brings me to saturation, which is number 5. Most importantly, starting with a less amount of saturation and then gradually increasing it at the end will save you so much time and irritation when it comes to digital painting. It's so much easier to make things brighter and more colorful and to add light flares and filters than it is to take something that's already too colorful and doesn't blend very well and try to tone it down. It's also fun to add little highlights and areas of brightness and color throughout a piece as little accents rather than having the entire painting just be bright accents, because it's hard to look at. Because I did this so many times back when I first started and I was like, oh yeah, no one's ever gonna see this. But I hope you enjoyed this video. These are 5 tips that I hope will help you in your art journey. Most importantly, it's falling in love with the process of art. It's not in the final piece. That is going to be important in your progress, in development as an artist and throughout your life. And I hope these tips will help you. I have so many more tips too that I would love to do more videos on. So if you'd like to hear more, please just let me know in the comments. I had so much fun with this. I've tried to do other tutorials for these kind of paintings as well, and I've realized there's just too many things going on. So what I thought about doing is just doing small tutorials on how to create individual trees or flowers with a bunch of different digital brushes. That way, I think it would be more helpful. That way you can adapt it to your own style and method. But I wish you a wonderful day, friend, and I will see you in the next video.